In the shadowy recesses of American history lies a group that manipulated the Civil War narrative for over a century. Welcome to Shadows of Deceit, where we uncover the sinister legacy of the United Daughters of the Confederacy. These women, bound by blood and ideology, reshaped the public's perception of the Confederacy, distorting truth and glorifying a cause rooted in the brutal defense of slavery. Founded in 1894 in Nashville, Tennessee, the United Daughters of the Confederacy seemed to honor their ancestors. But beneath this facade was a dark agenda. These women were determined to rewrite history, casting the Confederacy in a noble light while erasing the brutal truths of slavery and the war's true causes. The UDC rapidly spread, establishing chapters across the South. Leveraging their social status, they embedded themselves in educational and cultural institutions, orchestrating a campaign to sanitize and glorify a treasonous cause. This false narrative became deeply ingrained in Southern consciousness, painting traitors as heroes. At the heart of their mission was the lost cause narrative. Mildred Rutherford, the UDC's historian general, played a crucial role, crafting a measuring rod to test textbooks. This insidious guide ensured only UDC-approved histories were taught, insisting the Civil War was about states' rights, not slavery. Rutherford's guidelines demanded exclusion of any material painting the Confederacy negatively. This wasn't just about protecting Southern pride, it was a calculated move to justify segregation and systemic racism, ensuring future generations revered Confederate ideals. The UDC erected hundreds of Confederate monuments strategically during periods of racial tension, like the Jim Crow era and the Civil Rights Movement. These statues, symbols of a fabricated history, glorified traitors and obscured their fight to maintain slavery, asserting white supremacy and intimidating Black Americans. Placed in public spaces, courthouses, town squares, schools, these monuments served as looming reminders of the power dynamics the UDC sought to preserve. This wasn't heritage, it was about reinforcing a social order that subjugated African Americans. Beyond monuments, the UDC infiltrated the education system, lobbying for textbooks presenting a skewed version of history, omitting slavery's atrocities and portraying Confederates as noble defenders. Generations of Southern children were indoctrinated with a sanitized, romanticized version of the Civil War, embedding these falsehoods deeply into American culture. The UDC reviewed and approved textbooks, ensuring any depiction of the Confederacy omitted its brutal reality and the suffering of enslaved people. This wasn't just historical revisionism, it was a deliberate effort to whitewash a heritage of violence and oppression, molding young minds to accept these distortions as truth. The UDC's influence extended to youth through the Children of the Confederacy, aiming to instill lost cause ideals from a young age. Children recited catechisms praising the Confederacy, ensuring the next generation carried on their distorted legacy. These indoctrination efforts were methodical. Children learned to view the Confederacy with reverence, reciting skewed histories painting slavery as benign and the Civil War as noble. This early and persistent indoctrination ensured the lost cause myths endured, perpetuating racial biases and historical inaccuracies. Chapter 6: Political Puppeteers. The UDC wielded significant political power, lobbying for Jim Crow laws and segregationist policies, aligning with groups like the Ku Klux Klan to resist civil rights advancements. The UDC's political machinations were insidious. Behind the scenes, they pushed for laws disenfranchising Black voters and supported segregation. Their alliance with white supremacist groups highlighted their commitment to a racially stratified society, proving their efforts were not just about remembrance but active oppression. Modern-day shadows. Today, the UDC's legacy is under intense scrutiny. Monuments are being removed and the true history of the Civil War is being reclaimed. But the fight continues. The UDC's century-long campaign has left a lasting impact on American society, and dismantling these myths is crucial for healing. The pushback against Confederate symbols has sparked intense debates. Communities grapple with these monuments' legacies and the false histories they represent. Removing these symbols and correcting narratives is about rectifying the past and addressing systemic racism's ongoing impacts, fostering a truthful, inclusive historical memory. Unmasking the shadows. The UDC sought to rewrite history in their favor, but the truth cannot be buried forever. As we unveil these shadows of deceit, we honor those who fought for truth and continue working towards a more accurate and just representation of our past. Unmasking these falsehoods requires vigilance from historians, educators, and activists. Confronting these truths and challenging the UDC's legacy can heal divisions and foster a more honest understanding of our shared history. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the dark legacy of the UDC. Please like, subscribe, and share this video to help spread the truth. Together we can ensure history remembers the past accurately. Special thanks to our sources and contributors. For more information, check the links in the description below. Our research is backed by reputable sources including Dixie's Daughters by Karen L. Cox, The Myth of the Lost Cause, edited by Gary W. Gallagher, and primary UDC documents. Visit our description for a full list of sources and further reading.